For a comparison, a winter storm in 2018 was the last time we experienced over 300,000 power outages. That took 11 days to get everyone back up. I want to emphasize that this was tremendous work by over 5,000 utility workers. We were prepared. We called them in before the storm to make sure that we could handle this heavy, wet snow with these high winds. Some came from as far as Ohio and Kentucky to lend a hand. They were out all night in the storm and every hour since to get people back online. Our utility companies have stepped up and shared resources, helping each other out. We thank them all. Because I know from experience, having been a mother of a newborn and toddlers, being out of power in the middle of winter is incredibly hard. As I've been saying, if you've seen one storm, you've seen one storm. This storm was not normal. We were ready. Thousands of crews and contractors, 4,500 pieces of equipment, 450,000 tons of salt, and a travel ban during the worst of it to keep drivers and road workers safe. So today, major state roads are down to blacktop again, including the Turnpike and the Parkway. New Jersey Transit has resumed heavy rail service on a modified schedule, and light rail, bus, and access link on a normal schedule with a few delays. It'll take a while to get full operations, but the speed at which they've returned is a big help to riders. Think about that. After 2.5 feet of snow in some places in the state, we were up and running last night on much of our public transit. I want to emphasize we're not out of the woods yet. We're still in a state of emergency, likely through tomorrow, to help in cleanup and recovery efforts. Some icy conditions remain, particularly in the morning before it warms up. So remember, there'll be a lot of snow melt. It'll be warmer during the day, freezing overnight, so early morning icy conditions. Motorists should beware. Please be careful. Reach out to your neighbors, help one another. Winter isn't over. In fact, we may see another inch or two of snow tonight, but we're ready. We now are well versed in how to do this as long as we keep working together. I'll turn it over to Acting Superintendent of the State Police, David Sirotowicz. Colonel?
Thank you very much, Governor, and thank you to everybody that's been assisting us the entire time. I want to say good morning. I want to start by acknowledging what every New Jerseyan has lived through in the last 48 hours. This was a historic storm that brought sustained blizzard conditions, heavy snow, coastal flooding, and dangerous winds across every part of our state. We saw snowfall totals exceeding 1 to 2 feet in many areas, along with power outages and motor vehicle accidents. But because residents took our warnings very seriously, they stayed off the roadways, stayed home, looked out for one another. The overall impact was far less than it could have been. Your resilience as a state has been remarkable. Now let's talk about the state. Out of an abundance of caution and to prioritize employee safety, all state offices opened on a 2-hour delay today. This allowed for our plow crews to continue removing snow and ice and to make sure our roadways and parking lots were as safe as possible. Throughout the storm, troopers responded to 486 motor vehicle accidents, 1,291 motorist aids along our interstate roadways and our highways. Our State Emergency Operations Center moved to a level 3. This is an enhanced monitoring last night at midnight. And it will remain activated until the storm is completely cleared up and all of our roadways are clear. This means we're moving in the right direction with storm recovery efforts, and we're seeing conditions improved throughout the entire state. The State Emergency Operations Center will continue to monitor any requests from the county or municipalities and any assistance that is needed. A total of 9 resource requests were received at the State Emergency Operations Center through the duration of the storm. All were fulfilled, and everybody got the assets and personnel they needed from our municipalities and the county. We're seeing a significant drop in the power outages, as the governor said, across the state, which is a strong sign that restoration efforts are working and communities are returning to normal. As it will remain cold outside, if you need help finding a warming center, as we always say, NJ211 is your place to find that. Safety remains our guiding priority. Even though the storm is over, I cannot stress enough that nothing about this recovery is routine yet. Please continue to avoid unnecessary travel if you still can. Watch for downed power lines and report hazards immediately. Use generators safely. Carbon monoxide poisoning is a real thing. Check on your neighbors, as we always say, and any family who may need additional help. If you've suffered property damage, document everything and reach out to your local emergency management office. You can find those numbers on ready.nj.gov. This storm has tested us, but it did not beat us, because we were prepared, because we were coordinated as a state, and because the people of this state stepped up. We are recovering quickly. I want to thank all of our first responders, every DOT worker, every Turnpike Authority worker, every utility crew member, private contractors, and most importantly, the public, for helping one another through this. Please continue to stay safe. As always, visit ready.nj.gov for any storm-related information. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now to Commissioner Jane of the DOT.
Governor, thank you for your leadership throughout this blizzard. First, to our crews, contractors, and emergency personnel, thank you. You worked through extreme conditions, you worked overnight, and you delivered for the people of New Jersey. This was the largest snow event that the state has seen in nearly 30 years, and our transportation agencies were ready. At the height of the storm, nearly 5,300 personnel from New Jersey DOT, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority, and the South Jersey Transportation Authority were deployed across the state, plowing, treating, clearing debris, and coordinating our traffic management centers alongside state police and towing partners. We pushed thousands of pieces of equipment into service to bring our highways and toll roads back down to safe driving conditions. To the public, thank you for staying off the roads. Your help made our crews' response safer and more effective. And as travel resumes, please clear all snow and ice from your vehicle, slow down, be alert for any refreeze as temperatures drop. Our work continues. Crews remain on duty, and we are monitoring conditions closely. If towns or counties need assistance on local roads, please continue working through your county emergency management offices. And with additional snow forecasted, we are prepared, and our focus remains clear. Protect public safety and keep New Jersey moving. Thank you.
Thanks, Commissioner. I told Commissioner Jane I was hiring her because she had such a wealth of knowledge and experience. I wanted her to hit the ground running. I'm not sure she thought it was going to involve this, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And next, Chris Kaluri.
Governor, thank you. Thank you for your military planning and execution during this extraordinary storm. I want to join the governor in thanking my colleagues. They haven't slept in 48 hours at the Turnpike, at Parkway, and at Transit. And the fact that they were prepared for and they've helped us recover in such an expeditious manner is a remarkable testament to their skill. As of 11 p.m. last night, Turnpike was back at full speed. As of 4 a.m. this morning, Parkway was back at its regular speed. Our light rail started at 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Our bus service started at 4 a.m. this morning. Our heavy rail service started at 5 a.m. this morning across the system except for the Princeton-Dinky. And our Access Link reservations will start at 2 p.m. On top of that, the governor has been asking me before the storm even started when Portal schedule is going to be back. Governor, I'm so pleased to report that Portal work has restarted as of 45 minutes ago. Thanks for staying on top of it and making sure I stayed on top of it. And lastly, I want to say that when the governor gave me the privilege of running both these agencies. She said it is about coordination. It's about making sure agencies work across the platforms to help each other. Well, Governor, last night was a great example. In order to have the bus service get going at 4 a.m., we needed to make sure Penn Station was plowed in Newark. Guess who we asked for help? Turnpike. And within 1 hour, Turnpike sent 4 of its plow trucks and got the station ready for bus service. Well, that is what coordination looks like. And Governor, the fact that you had the vision to make sure that these two agencies work together for the benefit of residents is what this is all about. I am so grateful to the colleagues that got the system back up again. We're still running on a modified schedule with portal construction is still ongoing on our heavy rail, but hopefully by tomorrow we'll be back to regular schedule with the portal construction still ongoing. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you so much. And you said light rail was up at 4 yesterday. It was still snowing in parts of our state as we were bringing transit back up. That's truly remarkable, and thank you so much. Next, we'll have Christine Gold-Sadovi to talk a little bit about our utilities.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you again for your leadership. I'm going to underscore what the Governor and my colleagues have said. This storm has really been historic. So sincerest thanks in particular to all of the line workers who have been out there over the last couple of days in these very extreme conditions, getting power restored as quickly as they can. The utilities have been working very hard in ensuring that everyone gets back online as quickly as they can. And as the Governor noted, we have over 330,000 outages have been restored. Over 90% of all customers have been restored just 15 hours after the blizzard warnings have expired, and that is significant. So again, I want to thank and acknowledge the utilities and those workers who have been out there doing the work of getting people's power back on. That said, there are still over 30,000 customers who are without power, and that is something that we take very seriously. We are concerned about everyone being without power, and we know how difficult it is, especially when it's cold, to not have power. So we are coordinating with the utilities and ensuring that they are working as quickly as possible to get those customers restored. We understand that being without power is very difficult, but we will make sure that the utilities are getting power restored as quickly as they possibly can. As the Governor noted, there is more weather in our future, so we understand that there may be more outages. We encourage people, if your power is out and you have not yet reported it, please report it to your utility. That will ensure that they get the best available data to get power restored quickly. If you're using a generator, as the Colonel noted, please use it safely and outside. We want to make sure that everybody is as safe as possible, and I do also want to acknowledge all of the people who took the Governor's directive very seriously and stayed off the roads. That has been so helpful in making sure that we could get the power companies out there, get the trucks rolling, and get people restored quickly. And so thank you to the public and to the utility workers and to the Governor for her leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, on-topic questions. The President said he's going to be giving a very long State of the Union address tonight. I think that's appropriate because the President has a lot to answer for. He has gotten involved in several things here in New Jersey alone and created worse conditions for people. So, for example, delaying Gateway Tunnel funding, which really delayed work, cost thousands, if not millions of dollars, and really put workers in a bad spot as they were getting pink slips and seeing their health care paused. So I'm hoping that we see a better pathway forward for our country, for workers, and for the economy. And I'm hoping the President answers some of those questions about why there are so many bad employment numbers, why manufacturing numbers are so bad, and what he's going to do to make sure workers have a better outlook in the future.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple examples. We had a couple for traffic lights that went out, and we actually brought portable traffic lights over. We did have salts, which we made sure we got. We had plows, and we had one interesting one. It was actually the hospitals have to get newborn screenings to DOH within 24 hours. They were unable because there was a travel ban and the roads were treacherous. We actually sent troopers to 45 different hospitals to pick up those tests and drive them ourselves to DOH, Department of Health. Yep. Absolutely.
So our government team made over 400 contacts with municipal and county workers across the state. I really want to give a shout out to them. They were working around the clock just to reach out, and sometimes that proactive reach out actually alerted some of our municipalities to problems on the road or different things that were going on that they needed to address. So we've been working very closely and will continue to do so to make sure that everyone's working together to get the best results for people across New Jersey. I am very hopeful that with the warmer weather, with possible rain on Friday, that we can see, instead of this snow coming in impacting us too much, that we can start to see getting rid of the snow. I think we all just want to see our grass again right now.
There are residents who maybe have roads that weren't plowed or even sold. Who should they reach out to?
So they should reach out to their town managers to alert them to the fact that their road, they need some support on the roads.
And for Chris, intertransit schedules, railroad schedules, are they back to normal? And then are you going to be modifying with snow potentially on the way?
Well, as of today, they're operating on a modified weekend schedule. Our expectation is we'll be back to our regular portal construction schedule, which we had before the snowstorm. But again, I want to see what happens with the snow tonight, and then we'll make decisions.
Did you guys run into any issues during this storm in particular?
Oh, lots of issues.
Major.
Lots of major issues. So there were trees down. There was we had catenary issues. There were switches that were not warming up. Look, crews had to go personally with a shovel and remove snow from switches. So this was no ordinary storm. As the governor said, we had hundreds and hundreds of workers making sure we can get the system back on.
The biggest frustration was that we just had a snowstorm, and now we have another 2 feet, right? So we all were just kind of digging out from the last one. But, as you were hearing, these guys kind of make it look easy, but to get to this point today, to get to Blacktop, as you're seeing on the screens behind me, to get to the point where transit's open, to get to the point where our state roads are up and running and at full speed, no speed restrictions, that took an incredible amount of work. I mean, just hearing, when we were in the middle of this with 65-mile-per-hour winds and snow drifts and snow banks up to 5 feet, and they're trying to get the airport up and running in Atlantic City, and they send a guy out in a truck and they lose him, and he gets lost on the runway in the snow. I think it's easy on a sunny day like this to forget that in the middle of the night you have zero visibility and you have workers hiking in to repair power lines. So that's why I just want to keep reiterating what a debt of gratitude we owe to all of the public service workers. And the thing that really got me was when I had an early morning meeting yesterday what people wanted to pass on, what people here wanted to pass on to me was that workers were so appreciative of the people of New Jersey for staying off the roads, for making their job, their really dangerous, tough job, just a little bit easier, and that they were just saying, please let people know how appreciative we are. I'm like, we're so appreciative of what you're doing. And then as far as shoveling snow, I hate to admit this, but no, I made my husband do it. It happens. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to see if you had a comment as to the Justice Department filing a lawsuit against the state for interfering with federal immigration laws.
You know, I think what the federal government needs to be focused on right now, instead of attacking states like New Jersey working to keep people safe, is actually training their ICE agents with some modicum of training, like any law enforcement officer in the state of New Jersey would have, so that they can operate better and more safely. Thanks.
Do you plan on allowing the state to get involved at all in the Roxbury Detention Center?
We're looking at our options right now. As you know, I very much supported the last administration in making it illegal to have private detention facilities. As someone who worked at the U.S. Attorney's Office, we don't have private detention facilities to house for any of our prisons. I'm against private detention facilities, and we know with GEO, for example, who does the Delaney Hall, they've had complaints across the nation. We've seen really bad outcomes and poor conditions and dangerous conditions for people in those facilities. So I'm opposed to private detention facilities. We're looking at our options now.
This one's going to be private? The one that they're putting in Roxbury is?
Yes.
Okay, thank you all.
Thanks.